Hi. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, yeah, I know. I always seem to just disappear without a trace, but yet I keep coming back for you. Um, yeah, it has been a while, and I apologize for anybody who has has missed me all this time. And I know that I have said in the past about videos I've wanted to do is just finding the time to do it. But I thought to myself, if I want to get back into doing this, and if you are friends with me on my Facebook page, then you probably already know what this video is about. Hell, you probably just looked at the damn title. But I'm here to talk about NWA Hard Times. Now, first thing I want to say is that, as big of a wrestling fan as I am, I have to admit, my love for professional wrestling has nearly died. I haven't watched religiously since WrestleMania 35. WrestleMania 34, I've said in the past, was the show that broke me. I was like, after that, I said, nope, can't do it anymore. 1 year later, I watched WrestleMania 35. I even did a really shitty review of it. But here we are now. And somebody up there likes me. Because I have finally found some professional wrestling that I know I can support. And that is the National Wrestling Alliance. Thank God for NWA, for NWA Power, and for shows like Into the Fire, which was a great show, and this show, which I'm going to review, Hard Times. There was really one thing that made me buy this pay-per-view, and that was to see who they would establish as the new NWA World Television Champion, baby. You know, when I think of that World Television Championship, I think of the legendary rivalry of Dusty Rhodes and Tully Blanchard, baby. We're gonna turn the mixer on. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna get funky like a monkey brother. We're gonna tear the roof off, if you will, baby. Alrighty. And I even liked on commentary when they were talking about the TV title that this will be the first World Television Champion since Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I was like, oh my God, I remember that. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was the last World Television Champion. If I remember correctly, he found it, kayfabe-wise, he found it in a garbage can, and WCW just decided to just let him have it. Yeah. But that was a selling point for me to order this pay-per-view, and I apologize if the lighting is really dim. I'm working off one lamp. But yeah, I'm not going to go in order of these matches. I'm not going to go in match order. I'm just going to just talk random stuff about it, but there's a couple of things I want to save for last. All right? First thing I want to talk about is Aaron Stevens defending the third degree NWA National Championship against Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. When this match was announced, I was thinking to myself, what the hell did Scott Steiner do to get a title shot? But I'm glad that the commentators addressed it as they were coming to the ring, saying that Nick Aldis pulled some strings and got Scott Steiner a free title match. And I was like, okay, I can run with that. I knew this match was not going to be pretty. I knew this match had potential to be a train wreck. But I was anticipating it to be a train wreck of awesomeness. Because you give me Scott Steiner, I'm sold. You give me Aaron Stevens, I'm sold. And here's another thing I want to talk about. What in the hell was the question mark wearing? He was rocking some Game of Death Bruce Lee stuff, man. I dug that. All right. from a pure match presentation, the match wasn't really that great. And my God, is it just me, or does Scott Steiner look a little smaller on the muscular side? I don't know. But I knew this match was not going to be pretty. I knew that there were going to be a few moments where I would probably cringe. But you know what? For what it was good. And to see Aaron Stevens try his best to work with Scott Steiner in a comedic way, thought it was okay for what it was. Now, as in regards to the finish, the DQ finish, it works for Aaron Stevens' character. It works. The cowardly chicken shit heel has to get DQ'd and run away while the question mark gets punished for it. I thought that was a sensible ending for Aaron Stevens' character, because to me it makes the desire for that belt even more. It makes it even better. It'll make it even sweeter when somebody finally takes the belt off of him. It's the little things that matter in professional wrestling. So I was okay with that. Match-wise, what are you going to do? It was a comedic match. It served its purpose. It progressed Aaron Stevens further as a comedy chicken shit cowardly heel champion. And when somebody finally takes the belt off of him, it'll make it that much sweeter. Oh, yeah. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the NWA World Tag Team Championship triple threat match. The Rock and Roll Express against the Wild Cards and against drinking buddies, as they called themselves after the aftermatch promo, of James Storm and Eli Drake. Now, this match was better than I thought it was going to be. And all I'm going to say is no disrespect to the Rock and Roll Express, okay? None whatsoever. I respect the Rock and Roll Express. They are a legendary tag team, and they are a couple of legends that can still go. But if I got to be honest, I'm glad they dropped the belts here. Spoilers if you haven't watched the pay-per-view yet, by the way. I was glad that they dropped the belts because I think now's the time for this novelty act to fade away. Now it's time for you to book the Rock and Roll Express in a retirement match, and let's focus on the younger talent. I thought it was fine when they gave them the belts to begin with, because I was under the assumption that they were going to win the belts and then just drop them right back at the first pay-per-view into the fire, and that didn't happen. And the longer they ran with the belts, it just made it feel kind of like a little slap in the face to the younger talent. The Wild Cards are a good tag team. Tom Latimer is a beast. I love this guy. Royce Isaacs, he's growing on me. He is growing on me. But the Cowboy, James Storm, and Eli Drake, I'm okay with them winning the tag team titles. Because not every champion needs to be a heel. We got to have some babyface champions. And to me, you got two of your most over baby faces with the tag team titles and a huge show of respect from the Rock and Roll Express. I really had no problems with this match. It served its purpose. It got the belts off the Rock and Roll Express. And I'm so thankful that the Rock and Roll took the pinfall. I was scared to death that they were going to further overprotect Ricky and Robert by having somebody from the Wild Cards eat the pinfall. I am so glad that it was Ricky Morton that ate the pinfall. And another thing I want to say, Camille. Ooh, yikes. Nice. Good match. Good match. Alright. This is probably where I'm probably going to get some hate. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship match, Nick Aldis, Flip Gordon. First of all, why wait until the day of the pay-per-view? Why wait until you're already halfway through the pay-per-view to announce, oh, by the way, now the title's on the line? Would it have killed you to advertise the match as a world title match? But considering the situation with Marty Scurll and the Nick Aldis promo, fine. fine. As far as this match goes, to me, this was my least favorite match of the night. And it's a damn shame because I like Nick Aldis. I am a Nick Aldis fan. You know, when I look at a guy like Nick Aldis, this is a guy that looks like a world champion, who presents himself as a world champion. And now that he is fully fledged heel, it just makes it even better. The way he dresses, the way he cuts a promo, the way he presents himself, the way his swagger, his arrogance, everything about it just feels cool. And he looks cool when he's presenting himself with his swag, with his sophistication, with his intelligence, if you will. You know, Nick Aldis has a great look for a world champion. He is talented. He can move merch. I so want one of them Strictly Business jackets. And, you know, he's good at getting heat. Everything about Nick Aldis works as a heel world champion. My problem with this match is that the flow of the match barely kept my attention. And towards the end of it, because you got a guy from Ring of Honor in there, they've already developed this mentality that they have to do a bunch of spots and a bunch of moves and a bunch of, you know, Power Ranger style acrobatics to get a cheap pop out of the crowd. No! Keep that bullshit in Ring of Honor. Keep it out of the NWA. And for all you marks out there who mark out for spot fests like you see in Ring of Honor and AEW and NXT, y'all can keep it. All of you NXT, AEW marks and you Ring of Honor marks that love that Power Ranger style of professional wrestling, you can keep it there. Let me have my style of wrestling in the NWA. Let me have something, please. You've got 3 promotions that give you what you want. Let me have just one, please. Let me have tradition. Let me have some old school build, some heat, some drawing, some focus on storytelling. Give me what I want. You all can have what you want, but let me have it. It's only 1 hour a week. Please, I'm begging you. It's just 1 hour a week. Let me have what I want in my professional wrestling. Thank you. I face-palmed and I just went, son of a fucking bitch, when I saw Flip Gordon hit Nick Aldis with a super kick and 2 consecutive stunners. And of course, Nick Aldis has to kick at it too because we just got to give all those Ring of Honor, you know, hi-ya, nin-ya, yo-ha, ninjutsu, karate bullshit wrestling that you all love. And that's just not for me. I'm so thankful that Nick Aldis retained. I do not want that belt in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor has their own stuff. Let them have their own stuff. Because to me, if anybody needs to take that belt off of Nick Aldis, it needs to be somebody in the NWA. Or just let Nick Aldis hold it forever. We should all be so lucky. We should all be so lucky. Nick Aldis is your world champion. He is your world champion. He is my world champion. He is the national treasure. He's cool. He's sophisticated. He's smart. And he could probably kick your ass. All right, all joking aside, I'm glad that Nick Aldis retained. But can we please book Mr. Aldis to be a little more dominant in the ring and quit relying on schoolboy and roll-up finishes, please? Once this match was over, I was like, thank God it's over, let's move on. Now I want to talk about the match of the night. I can't wait to mark out for this. The match of the night. Not even a question. It's not even up for debate. It has to be Allysin Kay versus Thunder Rosa for the NWA World Women's Championship. Oh my God. Was this match perfect? No. Some of the biggest flaws of this match is that It was only announced like 3 days before the pay-per-view by Melina of all people. And both women portrayed their characters beautifully during this match. You want to talk about everything I can ask for in a professional wrestling match, whether it be men or women. It doesn't matter at this point. Both of these ladies gave me everything I can ask for in a wrestling match. They gave us further development of their characters, both in the promos leading up to the match and during the match itself. You had good storytelling, you had good heat for Thunder Rosa, and you actually had them selling. Yes, there may have been one or two many false finishes, but I can forgive that. Usually I despise it when a match has way too many false finishes, but if you can work false finishes properly, it can still work. Towards the middle and the ending of the match, both of these ladies were selling the fatigue. They were selling the pain of all these moves. Allysin Kay was selling the arm for about 80% of the time, and that was good enough. You had both of these women so determined to win this match by any means necessary. That's how you tell a story in the ring. If you can't tell a story with your mouth, you tell it in the ring with your bodies, and that's exactly what these two women did. Despite the fact that this match had pitiful build, barely any build at all, they still went out there and they worked their asses off, and for that, they have earned my respect. And if by some miracle they happen to be watching this review, because as soon as this match was over, I immediately went to Twitter and I thanked both of them for giving me one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. Was this match a 5-star classic? No. But this match had me gripped, had my full attention, and by the end of the match, I felt like I watched something really, really good. But I went to Twitter and I thanked them both, and they responded back. And I was amazed that they actually noticed a fanboy's praise. And Allysin Kay, Thunder Rosa, I will say it here on video, thank you. This was easily the match of the night. Like I said, it's not even up for a question. It's not even up for a debate. Hands down, this was the match of the night. And you know what? I'll even go as bold as to say it would not shock me if this match was nominated for a match of the year. It was that good to me. And to see Thunder Rosa win, and I'm talking about, it's like, yeah, there were some false finishes in there, but these worked for me because it's like I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh God. And seeing them sell the fatigue and sell their pain, and it worked. It's not one of those false finishes like, a pile driver off the top rope, gets right back up and starts doing like 47 super kicks. No, this was multiple false finishes done properly. And for that, I give both of these ladies props. Awesome match. Now we're going to talk about the television title tournament. First thing I want to cover, they kind of briefly covered, that Ken Anderson wasn't going to be there. So Tim Storm got a bye. So he got a free pass. I don't know what the story is. I don't read very many dirt sheets. Hardly any at all. So I don't know what the deal is with Ken Anderson. So there you go. One thing that really disappointed me about this about this TV title tournament was, what the hell did you do to Zicky Dice? You spent all these weeks building him up just to job him out in the first round? What the hell kind of booking is this? You spent weeks upon weeks building this guy up and getting him heat from the crowd just to job him out to a Ring of Honor chump in the first round. Hell, the way you were presenting Zicky Dice and Ricky Starks in the weeks to build up, you made us believe that this was going to be the final match. Zicky and Ricky. They were already developing heat with each other, so we thought this was obviously going to be the match finals. The tournament final match. But instead, we got to put over Ring of Honor, because why bother building up our own guys when we can build up our competition and just job them out in the first round? The crowd was disappointed. I was disappointed. Zicky Dice, when I first saw him, I was like, he does kind of look like a cheap knockoff of Guy Fieri, but the dude grew on me, and I was starting to like this guy. But why would you take all this time to build him up just to job him out and just toss him aside as if he were nothing? If you're gonna spend this time to build him up, then go all the way with it. Push this guy. Have him shock the fans by having him beat a Ring of Honor star, because, this is the NWA. We should be building up our wrestlers bigger than we build up our competition. That was the biggest disappointment, was how you just jobbed out Zicky Dice and we never see him again. Trevor Murdoch was built up like a star. They did a good job building him up. We had to take a deep breath and get over the pain of them jobbing out the question mark in the first round. But at least, if you're gonna do it, then go all the way with Trevor Murdoch and make him look like he's a legitimate possible world television champion. But I think everybody knew that this tournament was centered around Ricky Starks. I think everybody knew, deep down, I think everybody knew that Ricky Starks was going to win this tournament and win this title. And I'm fine with him winning this title, because this kid is charismatic, this kid is connected with the crowd, he is talented, he has marketable looks. I'm willing to bet once his merch hits the stands, it'll sell. This guy has everything it takes to make a good star. This kid has potential to be a huge star in the future. And what better way to establish him than have him win the newly resurrected World Television Championship? I had no problems with Ricky Starks winning the tournament. I would have loved to have seen the finals be Ricky and Zicky, or have Ricky and Zicky in probably the semifinals. Excuse me. But despite the minor disappointments, this show overall was still good. It's a shame that the world title match could have possibly been the worst match on the card, but the women truly delivered. Allysin Kay and Thunder Rosa, you two ladies kicked some major ass. And I forgot to mention that the way that women's match started, there was no collar and elbow tie-up, there was no headlock, no arm drags or nothing. No, the bell's ringing, them bitches are swinging. That's good. That's heat. That is also another part of the storytelling. Awesome. So Ricky Starks is the new World Television Champion, and good for him. Let's see what he does with it. And there's my review of NWA Hard Times. Hope y'all liked it. Finally, I have some professional wrestling that a fan like me can support. I'm glad I bought this pay-per-view. I'm glad I watched it. And I hope that the NWA can do shows just like this, or maybe even better than this. Let's see if they can top this at the Crockett Cup. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Feels good to be back. Let's see how long this run on YouTube lasts. I'll see you all later.